everybody. You're welcome to day 6 of our series in November. And this month, because this is the first time I'm actually going on screen after I lost my dad, I'm talking about the lessons I learned from his life, from watching him live, from watching him influence myself and my siblings over the years. And today, right off the tail of yesterday's lesson, I want to talk about leaving a legacy, because when life is done, when things shut down the way they have for my dad, what would speak when you're gone has now become the most important thing I have found these days. And listening to tributes, reading letters from people, hearing people talk about my father just created in me a hunger, a thirst, and then an understanding of this question we've always heard at funerals, but never really given thought to. And that is, what would you be remembered for? Or what would people remember you by? And I find that leaving a legacy is one thing. You could have a monument, you could have a lifestyle that speaks after you. But another one is having people who leave, live, L-I-V-E, your legacy when you're gone. So L-E-A-V-E, leaving a legacy would be living legacies in the form of people you've influenced, people you've trained, who can keep the flag flying. Whether my dad wanted to or not, he ended up raising so many lawyers, and he never wanted all of us to follow in his footsteps like that. I would say, I'm sure I've mentioned it somewhere this week, that my eldest brother is a lawyer. But you see, my eldest brother studied political science as his first degree. It was in watching my father practice, seeing him, do so brilliantly, that made him gather an interest to do what daddy does. And so he's a lawyer. He's been a lawyer for as long as I can remember. I'm like the runt, the youngest person in the family. And so I met them grown up, so to speak. And he studied political science, then studied law, and he's been doing brilliantly. He's leaving the legacy my dad left behind. My immediate elder brother, who happens to be the current Nigeria Bar Association chairman for Ibadan branch, is a lawyer as well. And the beautiful thing is, he also started off studying chemistry. But you see, even though it came from a scientific background, he watched law. It became glamorous when you live it so well that there's some glamour to it and it's so attractive. The people around you just tend to want to walk in your footsteps. And that's how my immediate elder brother started leaving the legacy, and he's living it so well that he's holding political office in the Nigerian Bar Association. Now, here's little me. Many people probably don't know that I had studied dentistry for 2 years before I quit and decided to just follow my passion. What I was going to do initially was study dentistry, get a certificate, present it to my parents, and then go back to study law. But somewhere along the line, I discovered that my lack of passion for the medical sciences was going to affect everybody else, because things are done in groups in medical school, and I was going to affect the members of my group. I just said, hey, why slow people down if I can be running my race and leave them to run theirs? So I had to jump across to law after 2 years of studying dentistry. And I have even found it extremely beautiful, because without litigation, I'm still doing very, very well in my commercial corporate space. Now, that is family members. There are so many other people who have been influenced by my dad's life and the things he does very well, that they're actually leaving the legacy. I want to talk about, almost every sibling I have has tried. I have siblings that are not lawyers. Okay, let's get that clear first. Almost every sibling I have has been interested in studying law at one time or the other. It actually took a lot of influence from my dad to get them not to study law. Now, your his unwitting influence was so great that everybody just wanted to follow in his footsteps. It took conscious effort from him to get people to try something else apart from what he's doing, because he made everything he did so attractive. So these people that didn't study law, what are they doing that is leaving the legacy? I have found that somehow the gift of the gab, being able to speak beautifully, was passed down. And then from rubbing minds with him and living with him, people actually improve their speech. Now, almost everybody in the family is a beautiful writer. My dad was so good at writing that people would come to him with what they wanted to write, tell him the idea, and then beg him to help them put it in prose, because he would write so beautifully that whosoever is reading knows exactly what he's saying, no ambiguity, and then with a good dose of humor. You would be surprised to find out that we all write like that. Well, those who bother to write. I have a brother who does not write, not because he wouldn't write like that, but because he just doesn't want to write. Anyway, he has picked his sub. Yes. And one more thing he passed down that is the biggest legacy, which is what I'll be rounding off with tomorrow, is kindness. His altruism was out of this world. And whether we like it or not, people who came in contact with him became a little bit more altruistic. And those of us who spent our lives with him cannot help but have the milk of human kindness flowing through us. So if you would search through his people, you probably find the people he trained in charge of welfare boards, in charge of benevolence, in charge of charities, because it just taught people by his lifestyle to care for the next man more than anything else. He just communicated that the needs and the lives of everybody matters, and you should look out for those who are, in a way, not of your tribe. So it's not just watching out for yourself, it's not just watching out for your family or your tribe, it's watching out for humanity. That is a legacy worth living. That is a legacy I am glad to be a part of. And that is why, if not anything, I am happy to be sharing his principles, his tenets with you guys this month. I'm living the legacy, but let me ask you, what legacy would you be leaving behind? And do you actually have people you have trained? They don't need to be your biological children. Do you have people you have influenced who would leave the legacy you are leaving behind? Let's round this all up tomorrow. I'll be talking about kindness. I already said that. And it will be the end of this series. I hope you are learning something from the way my dad lived. I'm learning the lessons all over again, and I'm glad I had the opportunity to learn it firsthand. We'll continue from here tomorrow. See you then. Bye.